Hi, this is Don with Dr. Don's Buttons. I'm here demonstrating the operation of our photo button design studio. A very powerful tool that allows you to create high quality photo buttons that include text. To begin with, you can see that we've already got the design studio open. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and upload the photo that we want to work with. So to do so, we mouse up here to the left part of the menu bar where it says upload photo. You click on it. You'll see that in doing so, it's popped open another box that says upload photo. Click on it as well. Now it's going to navigate you to your computer where you can find the photo that you want to work with. And I found the one I want to. It's a photo of my daughter Amy, so I'll click on it to begin the loading process. Now depending on how large your photo is, it can take a little while to load. If it's a very large photo, it may take a little bit longer. If it's too large, it won't load at all. Now you can see that Amy's photo has loaded, and now you can see that there's text over her face, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do first of all is show you how to eliminate text that you may not want to have. So what we do is we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the text fields here, and we're going to mouse over them. When you do mouse over a text field, you'll see that it creates a green outline. That's simply a visual indicator that if you now click it, you can go ahead and do some things with the text in that text field. So we'll go ahead and click on it. And in doing so, down at the bottom of this box, you can see there's a field called Delete Text Field. So go ahead and simply click on it and eliminate that text field that we had just highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and I'm also going to eliminate the upper dialog or the upper text box, which you might want to have in some photos, but for my purposes, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate it as well. So I'll mouse over it, click on it, and hit the delete key. Now the next feature I want to show you is the photo control box. Now it's located where the upload photo box had been. The Design Studio knows when you have an image in the Design Studio, and so that dialog changes. So it now says photo control, so we'll go over there and click on it. And now the Design Studio is giving us access to the tools that we can use to adjust the photo itself. So what we're going to go ahead and do is show you one by one the various tools within the toolbox. So first of all, we're going to show you position. You can see here there are 4 arrows. And what those arrows do when you click on them is give you the ability to position the image on the button in the way that you want to. So what I'm looking to do is to center Amy as best I can. So the next tool down is size. Now what the size tool does is allows you to make the image smaller or larger depending on what you want to do. Sometimes it might need to be smaller, sometimes larger. So what I want to do is to fill the image with Amy's face so we can see her pretty face. So now I've moved it up just a little bit too high, so I'm going to bring her face down just a little bit, and now I have her image where I want to. The next tool down in the box is rotation. Now there might be times when you upload a photo that your image may be rotated and you may need to rotate it one direction or the other to get it straight. So I'm going to show you that by clicking the rotate button. I could rotate her to the right or I could rotate her to the left. But I want to have her more or less perpendicular, so I'm going to leave her at a number 2. And now I've got her in a position that I'd like to. You'll see the last one says background, and that's a feature that we're currently working on. So right now, ignore it. It's not a functional operation yet, but in the future, we hope to have that operating where you can add another background to it. Okay, so we've got Amy in position. So now what I want to do is go ahead and start working with the text field again. So as before, what I want to do is to go ahead and mouse over the text field. When I do, I see the green outline. It lets me know that if I click on it, I can adjust it. So go ahead and click on it. And now you can see that the text in that text field is highlighted. And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and change it. Now in this photo that was taken of Amy a number of years ago, it was her Halloween picture and she was Princess Amy. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in Princess Amy. And you can see that the text was black by default. And for this particular photo, black isn't what I want to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down a ways into this box and you can see font color, and there's a square next to it. If you click on that square, it's going to give you access to the color choices that we can now use for the text in that text field that we've selected. So what I want to do is to go ahead and I could choose any of the colors that are shown here, but I'm going to use one that comes closest to the color of her dress. So I'm going to choose the pink color here. And by clicking on that color, I can now go ahead and have the color in that dialog box. If I wanted to, I could go down into the color picker window here and drag the mouse through and choose any of the colors that would allow me to do. And I could just fine tune it. But for my purposes, that pink is pretty close, so I'm going to go back to the default pink. Now you can see in doing that where the pink text overlaps her dress, it's a little hard to see. So I'm going to show you one of the advanced tools. And so we're going to go over to the box to the right and click on the bottom panel here. It says Glow. And when we click on that, it gives us access to create what's in essence an outline of the text. Right now by default it's set to 0, but I'm going to go ahead and click on the size of the glow, and you can see in doing so it now adds an outline, and doing that allows me to see the pink against the pink. So I'm going to go ahead and stay about with a number 2 glow. To me that looks real good. But there's a lot of power in doing that, and you can create some pretty interesting text effects there. So now the next thing I wanted to show you is go into the ADV panel. The ADV stands for Advanced, and that gives you access to some other tools. So in the top of that panel is the font area where you can change the type style. And what you do is go ahead and just simply drag your mouse through the area, and as you go through the various text, the fonts here, it'll show you what would happen if you were to choose that. Now I kind of like capitals for this. So I'll go ahead and release on capitals, and we're going to go back to the basic one because now I'm going to go ahead and change the size of the text. So let's see, let's go ahead and make it just a little bit larger. Oh, no, actually I think I like it probably right back where I had it. So I'm going to leave it on number 14. I could also use the space tool here, and that would allow me to change the spacing between the letters on the text. And I think I'm going to go back to where I was, but just to show you that those tools give you a lot of control over the various elements of the Design Studio. So once we're finished with that, looks like I have it the way I want to. I can go ahead and click on the Save dialog box if I want to save it and come back to it, which I'll go ahead and do, and I'll call it Amy. And I'll hit the Save button. And that way, if I want to come back to that design at a later time and do something with it, I can do it by clicking on the Open button. And you can see Amy's name pops in there. I click Open, and that design would open up as we saved it. Now, the final step I'm going to show you is Create It. Once you've got your design and you're ready to work with it, go ahead and click on the Create button. You choose the size button that you'd like to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and make a 3-inch button here. And what's going to happen now is the Design Studio is going to take a couple moments to go ahead and gather the information that's necessary to go ahead and create the design. So it'll take a minute or two, so rather than keep you waiting, I'm going to go ahead and stop the audio and then resume when it's finished doing what it needs to do. Okay, the Design Studio has finished gathering the information, and now it's presenting me with a dialog box and giving me 2 choices. I can go ahead and create what's called a printable layout, which what that will do is based on the size of the button we chose, it will create the button in that size and lay it out to the maximum number of images per page that it can do. If you were to choose the full-size image, what it would do is going to create a JPEG image that's 10 inches in size. Now obviously your button maker isn't a 10-inch button, so what you would need to do if you choose this option is work with another graphics program that's going to allow you to resize it down. For most people, choosing the printable layout option is going to be the way that you'll go. It's easy, it's simple, and it's going to give you what's called a PDF that you can print using Adobe Reader. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll click Download. Now what it's asking you to do is to save that name or create a new name. So what you'll do is save it with a name that you can recognize. So I'm going to say, call it Amy Button. Save it to my computer desktop. And now I can go ahead and go to to that file on my computer desktop, click on it, open it up with Adobe Reader, and then print it. Making photo buttons is just as easy as that.